Good morning, everyone. Hello, London. How is it going? Whew. Let me put on a little vest. You might hear a little doggy barking. It's one of those small dogs. It's just, I don't know, it's a very low IQ dog that just barks at everything. And this morning he's been barking all morning. And I know the owners just let him bark, and so you might hear it, but it's a very little annoying dog. Um, Hey, Mithra, how are you doing? I'm testing your your index. There's a lot to go over. My God, there is so much data that I have to set and try out. So I'm on this one right now, as you can see. So yeah, I like it so far. But a lot of things I still need to try and figure out what is the how I can use it. But nice. This one is very nice. Um, I must say the other one, the non premium, are also very good. But yeah, I'll keep you. Now I like it. I mean, that's the point of premium, right? You have a lot of options. But anyway, as we can see, we are in the end walk. Hello. Oh, my cat again. The moment I start talking, she comes up and she's gonna try to, I guess, secure her tuna, right? Yesterday she got tuna. We had a good trade. Gigi, be quick. Hello, Marath. How are you doing? Uh-oh. Okay, guys, it's FOMC today. So, hold on. Let me just quickly. I need to put this somewhere. Where am I going to put this? Oh, monkeys as well. Chaos. Total chaos. Oh, oh, you like your peppermint? No, 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 no. She goes nuts for peppermint. Look, look. I don't know. I just figured if I have a peppermint, she just goes nuts. No, no, Gigi. You can, I don't know. She just loves peppermint. No, 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 no. That's mine. Why do you like peppermint so much? That's very bad for your health, my love. What was that? Uh, oh my God. She just goes nuts for peppermint. Okay, you cannot have peppermint. It's bad for you. Go say hi to the monkeys. No, 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 no. It's so funny, guys. I just discovered this. Look, when I put a peppermint here, she just goes nuts. Oh my God. She is, I mean, I have to be careful because it's not good for her. You cannot have peppermint, my love. She's the peppermint that really drives her to. Oh my God, Poo Poo, how are you? Like, this is not good for you. I think it's really the peppermint. I guess so. Okay, go say hi to the monkeys. Oh, there's no peppermint for you. But I, she was already trying to get my tooth when I was brushing my teeth all the time. She was trying to grab it, and now I understand it. I think it's the fluor or the mint tea. So she has a mint addiction. Okay, no, 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 no. I don't have. Uh, oh no, 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 no. Oh my God, you're so funny, Gigi. We discovered something really weird. Oh, because I smell peppermint now. Oh, you want the peppermint? Oh, you poo poo. You like the peppermint? So fun. Okay, no more peppermint. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Okay. I have to hide. I've got to hide my peppermint, my last peppermint. Hold on. I need to hide it. Okay, Gigi. No, 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 no. It's fine. You're not gonna get this. It's unhealthy for you. Okay. Let me hide this one quickly. Then we need to focus. It's almost. Oh, it's 2 o'clock already. Okay, Gigi. Hold on. You saw that. Okay, we need to focus, my love. Mommy's working. No more peppermint for you. She's literally taking my hand and telling me what to do. Okay, well, in the meantime, so it's FOMC, and I think I'm just going to paper trade today with FOMC just to make sure that maybe a small A plus setup, but I still think I'm just going to paper trade and trade until FOMC. So I love you too. Um, then so FOMC is at 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, so I think also pre-market prep. I think is, I mean, I just don't want to force anything. I think I'm going to move that to this afternoon because of FOMC. What I do like, what I'm seeing is the following. So let's go over some scenarios that let's go over the higher. They're leaving a lot of things to the upside. So we've got a lot of old opening range gaps here. One, two, there should be one more here. I think there was one higher as well that we still left. I think last Friday, or was that this one? I think there was Friday also one because I remember I'm always trading them during pre-market prep, and I always know when they don't go into it. I sort of remember them because like, oh, that will give me another trade. But maybe FOMC, because we have so many things to the upside. Oh, let me just get rid of this. What are you are messing up my. Okay, well, there's no trade on it. It's okay. GG, let me see a look. There's monkeys. Okay, Gigi, I need my laptop here. I need my laptop, Popo. Come. I need to read the chat. Come, 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 come. Can I please ask you to? Hello, Nita. How are you doing? Uh, yeah. So we just figured out that my cat has a peppermint addiction. And now I know why she's always trying to get my toothbrush. When I'm brushing my teeth, she's always grabbing it. I'm like, what are you doing? And the funny thing is, I went to the vet and I bought toothpaste for her. I thought, okay, maybe she likes to brush it. I don't know. So and then, but she doesn't like it because there's no fluoride in it. But it's very bad for cats, so she cannot have it. But anyway, I think we're gonna have a lot of consolidation because of FOMC. Let's go over the monthly. Yesterday, I was aiming for that monthly low. During pre-market, when at the open we got that trade, got stopped out once because it went up again. I got stopped out in profit, and then at 9 it didn't give us the trade before 9:30, and 9:38 we were done, 100 points done. So that was a nice, a good day. exactly how we want to have it. But let's have a look again, guys, because it's sort of like very confusing now with the be adjust on and off, because it gives you different. Now, yesterday, I always have to remember. See, here we still have not taken, if the be adjust is off, we still have not taken, oh, we did take out this low here, but we have not taken this one yet. Be adjust on, you see, we have taken both of them here. It was this one that we were looking at, the 834-ish. Yes, I was looking at this one yesterday. Here. This one is the one. So, but be adjust off, we still have the monthly low here. So I guess for today, I would definitely be looking at this low here and see if I can get some other data, because obviously this is a large fair value gap, right? A monthly one. So you want to narrow that down a little bit, I guess. But on the other hand, if it's FOMC, just let it go down and maybe we get a trade to the upside with FOMC afterwards, or it's the other way around. But then again, you still want to have your data. Like let's say, for example, FOMC goes to the upside and the real move is to the down, further continuation, for example. It would make sense on the weekly or on the monthly, and then a retracement maybe back up into back to 20, 30, 40%. I don't know, could happen. Doesn't have to do it though, but I would think they are going to leave a wick on the monthly, right? So there is going to be a retracement somewhere, and I would assume it will go this week into, at least in this fair value gap. I mean, I assume, but we never know, obviously. But it would be weird if it does not do that, right? If it's so close. We still have today FOMC. Do we have any news drivers? Hey, off-grid Robin. Off-grid Robin. Are you living off-grid and still being able to use the internet? Because that's what I want. Being totally off-grid, far away from the world, and still stream. And technically that is not so far away from the world then, but I mean physically. Okay, let's have a look at the, so today FOMC, and then, oh yeah, we had, and this is going to be an interesting one with the rates, right? So we have to, I don't want to get into that too much because, you know, the price will do whatever anyway, but it is important to be aware of maybe this month might be a little bit important to see what, normally I don't even listen to the news, I just trade it, but I think maybe today it might be handy to be aware of what they're saying. Tomorrow, it's already Wednesday, guys. It's so crazy, right? Okay, tomorrow also we have 8:30 orange folder and red folder news. Okay, nice. Okay, and Friday, I believe, let's have another look on Friday. Orange, okay. Orange at 8:30 and 10. So, okay, interesting. It's very hard to know which one is the best to use now after, but I think near a contract change, I would. I think it's just best to toggle both, but you have a lot of data to be aware of then, right? But yeah, just gonna just try this. I can hear the monkeys rearranging all the chairs. Okay, when it goes into here, 377, 2.5 is here. It's all the way 24,000. That's 5,000 points. 2.5 standard deviation. But look, we've got all these. I wouldn't be surprised if we do go all the way lower to sort this out. But I don't think we're going to do that this week. But who knows? How many candles? How big is this monthly candle? Let's have a look. I mean, I'm just, the price action is so slow. I mean, I'm just gonna go. Okay, so the price action of this month so far has been around 3,000. 3,000. And that largest NQ candle, that bullish one, that was about 4,000. Remember, that was a really, really large one. Which month was that? Was that April? It was 4,000 points almost. This one was 3,663. Oh, here, sorry. It's all covered. Oh my God, dogs, just stop barking. You know the monkeys are here. Here, 4,000. Yeah, this one here, 3,900. So yeah, that was that monthly candle. So I do believe that's the biggest NQ candle ever, I believe. So yeah, I think next month will be a continuation of this one most likely. Or are we creating a breaker on the monthly? Then we go up to go down. I don't know. Do we ever have a breaker? We actually do here. Look at this old data. They're so funny to see. Wow. 2009. September 2001. Interesting. Okay. It's just been going up, up, up. And here we are. Daily. So we left this imbalance here. 2,900. Okay. Okay, so this is the 4 hour. This is now, you can see it's going back and forth, creating some wicks. So not really interesting, right? Um, Low probability area. I guess we just try to find some base hits. Hey, Company Menko, how are you doing? Hello, Horacio. Hello, teacher. Oh, you're so funny. Um, Lens, good news to report. I maxed a payout from Lucid. Oh, you got a payout? Oh, okay. Well, that is very good news. So, if I understand correctly, I maxed a payout from Lucid Pro account today. 40% rule gives me a daily profit that helps me. Yeah, so I also I mentioned that last week that I also noticed that actually a consistency rule helps me actually because if it's unlimited, I just sometimes I overstay, and then and with a profit target, you're just done. You know, you're done for the day, right? So I'm also now getting more inclined to have maybe one account that I don't have a consistency rule on, but be okay to have more accounts with a consistency because it just helps me. You know, even on a 25K, I could still make about $700 per day. I'm like, yeah, you know, I mean, if you have that on a couple of accounts, I mean, how much more do you need, right? So, so congrats, Lance. I'm happy to hear that. That is really good news. So, well done. Hey, Priya, how are you doing? And Companyman Carl is in. The Germans are. We're missing Chaos, Mr. Chaos. Where are you? Mether is already in. Like minutes before the actual open. Oh, I think that's about the indicator, right? Yeah, we'll have to go over it outside the stream. I think there are some features that I am probably not aware of that I can use. So, Priya, you are just actually how many months? Priya's actually just trading um, one, two. I think you're just technically trading 3 months. You started 4 months ago. Was it 4 months with me? And you didn't trade then. So technically, Priya's only trading three or 4 months now. So that's pretty rare for someone already in a funded stage, to be honest. So I'm actually very impressed. 3 months with some breaks. Well, FOMC week, listen, Priya, NFP week is where you need to be careful, but FOMC, you now want to be careful on today because FOMC is at 2 o'clock. So price action might be now you want to wait till after 2 p.m. Yes. And a lot of people like Bowser, he says he doesn't trade until Asia. He waits until Asia. I think he said something like he just lets the FOMC just go. And then he says Asia is pretty awesome after FOMC. So that might be a nice one for you. But look what's... Yeah, but that's, I mean, 3 months in and already in a funded account is pretty awesome, honestly. And whatever help you get, it's you that has the discipline. It's the person itself that needs to put in the discipline. Hey, hell yeah, I couldn't do it in 3 months. I can tell you that. But anyway, yeah, it's not. um, I do think we might get like a very short base trades, maybe at the 350 macro, or maybe even at London Open, right? We still have settlement price here. And we did not go here. There was like, I woke up in Asia and I thought I saw a nice trade and I wanted to trade up to here, but didn't do it. So I'm thinking maybe now, later on, we might get a trade up to here, and not expecting too much range. I'm just thinking, what time is it now? 2:24. I'm thinking maybe to take a trade to the upside. Let me just see if we are holding up. Are we being held up or are we being held down? What level is this? 205. I'll do a poll with you guys as well. How do we hit? We've got equal lows here. So, so if you look on the 15, right, you can see you have like a low that formed here, but you also have this high here, which left a couple of interesting areas above it. And almost the same here. So it's sort of like, if we go higher, it's going to be 2 wicks, right? So we've got wicks. If we go on the 1 hour, most likely you've got, this one is a little bit wickier. Got a gap here. Maybe ES can give us some guidance. Yeah, I'm just going to paper trade until FOMC is done. I'm not going to do anything until FOMC. Oh, this is interesting on ES. So on the 4 hour here, you can clearly see this week we are literally balancing out this area here, but we still have some business here to do, even though it's wicking into it. A lot of equal lows. Yeah, I mean, trendline liquidity on one side equals on the other side. I mean, yeah, it's setting up for a nice FOMC, I guess, right? So beautiful. Imbalances here, equals, imbalance. No, is this a suspension block? It is, right? Here, suspension. Okay, I'm seeing some movement on. I think I want to paper trade this to the upside. Oh, we did not touch midnight. See, this is so typical. We are above 2. I like it to trade back to settlement price. 10 past. Go. 5. Hey, Paras, how are you doing? Should we? Yeah, volume is low because most people are waiting for FOMC, right? So I'm just gonna paper trade for now, for exactly that reason. I'm going to trade after FOMC, or at least look if there's any setup for me. I'm not, I'm I think last month it was a little bit disappointing. I did not actually manage to trade it. I have to go back. But normally FOMC is very, especially if you wait after the fake move and then the real move. Um, if it becomes very clear, it can be fun. Let me put it that way. Um, 2:30. Where's Asia High, by the way? Asia High is here. Oh, these dogs, they keep on barking. When they see one monkey, they go berserk. Just shut up now. You've been barking now for hours. Now it's time to shut up. It's just those little dogs. They just keep on going. It's just, they're so nervous. They're just, these little nervous they're just, I don't think they have a long lifespan because they're so. Pum, 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 pum. Now, where is my one screen? I want to test something. Uh-oh, did I lose that screen? Oh, here we go. Oh my God, keep going. Mhm. Okay. Where did we open today? I think we are in the opening range from 6 o'clock. Let me check. 6, 6, 7, I think so. 27,906-ish. Twenty-seven nine five eight. Nice rally from the open. We didn't hit the open. London is not open yet. Okay, let's see if we get a reaction to the downside from now. Let's see if we can find an entry. Oh, these dogs, they keep on barking. It's just so all morning already. New York open. New York open. Okay, let's see if we can get a nice pullback and we can find a nice trade. I think we'll get a nice pullback from here. Midnight open. Yeah, I was confused, like midnight. Well, we didn't hit midnight open. Did you see that? But yes, we went lower and then we went higher, but we did not retest midnight, which is sort of like annoying a little bit. Sort of went here. It's a little bit sus. But we did go into this wick, and I think we're on our way into this wick. But let's see. Where are we at in ES? ES is already in this wick here. Hey, Mr. Chaos, there you are. How is it going? We were almost sending out the troops to find you. How is it going? Okay, let's see if we can get a nice reaction here. I want to see it go lower here. Give us a nice pullback from 908-ish. Yeah, I want to see a nice pullback from here. It's 242. That'll be a nice, good time. See. And I want to see some pullback, maybe even all the way up to here. Let's see if we can get some, maybe. I'm interested in this area. um, two. Got taken out on a cent. When did it happen? Taken out on a cent. On a tick, you mean? Or did you mean what happened? It's so frustrating when you always get taken out, but I mean, when it's so close, right? 244. Sometimes it happens, right, that you get to, I mean, when I was trying to get that trade to the downside yesterday, I got stopped out as well because well, there was quite a large move to the upside. I got stopped out in profit, and then I took it again at the pre-market when we opened up, or just before. Then I got the 100 points. But I wasn't really upset about it because it was very volatile. And when you can manage when you're very confident in the draw, but it went up like 80 points in one candle, and it's sort of like, you sort of expect it, and I didn't even trail my. But at some point you will start, especially when we get near the open, I do start trailing a little bit, and then I'm okay if I know I'm in. For me, it's like, okay, when it goes this high, I know I have to just wait a little bit longer. So I'm actually happy that I'm stopped out at that point. But obviously, it is in profit, so it's not as bad as being stopped out, not in profit. So there is a difference, yes. But yeah, at some point, you have to get to what I'm really trying to also practice with myself with stops is that it's okay to be stopped out if my risk is okay and I'm still confident in the trade, and then it's either the outcome, it's fine, but it takes and I do that with my paper trades as well. I don't move my stop, and I'm stopped out, and then I journal it as a whole. Okay, where did I put my stop loss? Why did I put it there? What if I would have trilled? When would I have trilled? And I go over all these scenarios. But it sort of really helps. I mean, if you paper trade to. Now, obviously, when you have larger trades, you want to pay the trader. I totally get that. But you also have to become comfortable with being stopped out. It's part of the deal. It's really part of trading. And try to get trades with a limited stop loss that you're okay with being stopped out, if that makes sense. Because I had really serious issues with that by not putting a stop in at all because I was really afraid to be wrong. And then when I start doing it, I would move it around like crazy and widen my stop. So it literally had no function at all. But a stop is actually a good thing if you think about it. It's a stop loss. It prevents more losses, right? So if it's well managed, it shouldn't harm you at all. But it's still, it is, it sounds so cliche to say it, but it is. It has to become a positive in your mind, which is a really hard. It sounds like something that it's not, but it should be something. And I've really came to a point, and that's really where my trading became a lot better, and also my P&L. Every trade more for me is about the risk first. So any trade that I put on, even a paper trade, is about, okay, am I okay to lose this money on this trade? That's it's not about my win. It's about, okay, if this trade goes against me, because even my A plus setups, they're not 100%. No A plus setup will give you 100% win rate. Never, ever. So even your A plus setup, you always have to be aware, is this maybe the trade that is that 20, 30% that goes against me? And that should be okay. If it's well managed, if you follow your rules, you should be totally fine with that, right? Even it's not something that it's nice, but you should be okay with that. So when I get upset with myself is when I see a level that is really, like a turtle soup, and I don't get in. So for example, let's say I already have this level marked out and it goes here and I don't get in. And then my stop loss goes literally 1 or 2 ticks below this level and I don't enter, for example, here. Let's say this is an example and I let this go. That upsets me because then I have such a small risk. Those are the high risk reward plays you want to trade, for example, because you can put your stop loss very low. And I chicken out then. It happened a couple of times, and it's always mostly on Mondays. If I'm journaling, it's like, oh, it's on Monday again. I guess something around the weekend. I just don't have the confidence, maybe, and that's upsetting to me if I can and especially if I mark these levels in advance, and you've seen it a couple of times on stream as well. I mentioned the level. I said, "Oh, I want to go. If I find a long hair, I'll go long hair." And then the level gets there, but it takes time because we've been, and then I don't get in. And those are the levels that you have your level, it goes there. So you can literally have a 5 point stop loss, even less sometimes, and I don't take it. That upsets me if I do that. But that's fear on my end then. Not FOMO, but fear, I guess, that I'm wrong. And like, oh my God, and what if I'm wrong? But what if I'm wrong? What does it matter? It's only 5 point stop loss, right? So yeah, it's such a weird, it's such a weird concept. But I want to eat some fast food. Yeah, we love fast food. Once in a while, we can have pizza, fast food. Um, yeah, right on the tick, and it turned in my direction. Well, then we talked about it, chaos. You need to get back in. If you're correct, but you have to have the confidence to get back in. Then, but you have to be able to be right to be. If you are too early or it's just one tick, you have to be able to get to the mindset. Okay, I just get back in, right? But there's always you have to be aware. Am I wrong or am I too early? I mean, if in the morning I get, well, that's in you're not in my pre-market prep, but I take a lot of steps sometimes because I know I'm just too early. I mean, I don't lose a lot of money, but sometimes you just, you have to be fast and then be okay. But then I'm very confident in my draw, but it just takes a little bit more back and forth, for example, and then, yeah, but it takes practice. You'll get there. Um, it could be the last trading day of the week for me as I'm planning. Oh, are you going to travel? Nice. Where are you going to go? Um, yeah, we always curious about traveling plans. Tell us, share your. Yeah, I hate zoos. Who's going to the zoo? I mean, if it's well taken care of, it doesn't really matter. But zoos are sort of like me being in conservation. Yeah, yeah. But you know what? Sometimes there are animals that can't really go back to the wild because they have been, so there are. It's not as black and white, but obviously, yes, animals should be in the wild. But we have projects here that some animals are really can't, and then they create the environment where it is for them the wild, but it's not, and and then they can still. But yeah, when they get caught just for zoo purposes, it's always been a bad thing. But then again, yeah, we have some really good projects here, and they cannot go back into the wild anymore, but they have created this environment that is for them a very good life. People can also not interact with them because that's a big no. I hate it when people go on, they go to one of those farms where they breed the lions for culling. It's just horrible. And then people are like, oh, look at me with a little cub on my arm. I'm like, are you kidding me? That little tiger or that little lion that you're holding is going to be shot in a few days, or they are inbreds. It's just horrible. It's just horrible. Don't even get me started on those kind of things. Yeah. Yeah, so exactly. So what Paras is saying, it's like if they have like injured animals and they save them, they have these projects, right? Something like that. We also have those. They are injured or they were young and they never learned how to be in the wild. So it sounds more like a conservation project where you're going. So that is different. So we also have a lot of some of these things, and they do let people in, and because they need money, right? So, but it is bad when they let people interact with the animals. That is, ugh, when they sort of like, that's if you go to a somewhere and they like, oh, do you want to hold a little lion? You should run away. I mean, that is so horrible. Yeah. They look cute and they're only used when they're young, and then they use them just they're going to be shot for a lot of money just for fun. People are just, look, I shot a lion. Look how cool I am. They're just being bred for only that, just for being hunted. It's just so nasty. Um, okay, let's see, guys. 2:55. So, we're talking about this. It's actually interesting because I've been thinking about the initiative that I am going to jump on with the ICT, like donating the all the affiliate commission to a good cause, and he wants it to go to St. Jude's. But I don't know how long this initiative will take. But in the future, all my affiliate commission will go to a good cause. But I would, if I can choose at some point, it will go to animal related stuff as well, wildlife conservation, because that's why I live here in South Africa. That's why I came to South Africa. But Elephants Alive was a project I work with. Rhino conservation. We have also cheetah projects here because they're very endangered. There's so many projects we can do here. So children and animals, I mean, those two are just, you know, I think the two causes that I really, where my heart would go to. So yeah. Ma'am, there are no private zoos here. There is a department dedicated to these. I love that. Tell me where that is. So the fees there is almost negligible for the Indian. Oh, I love that. Yeah. I love India, by the way. I've been traveling for 6 weeks there. I've gone a couple of times. It's a beautiful country. Um, I think India is fascinating. Um, but yeah, those projects are exactly. That's all. Perhaps if you would like to share some pictures, please do. We've got where's my canine man? My South African friend. He shared some pictures as well of his canine adventures here and what he's doing. And yeah, I mean, hey, Vikas. Yeah, I found India fascinating. I really enjoyed it. It was hard traveling. I mean, I was a female by myself, so I was in some very tricky situations. But man, I yeah, it's definitely on my list to go. I never went to areas. I mean, I still have Kerala and some other provinces. Priya, I can ask you. But yeah, please share because that's we love that kind of things. Snow leopard. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I was looking at it and I saw that. I wanted to ask you about that one. Okay, it's almost 3 o'clock, guys. So I do think if open, we'll touch this. Anyone still on the line? How many Indians? Are there more Indian people here? Would you like to share where in India you're from? India's a large country. Man, I traveled, I had a driver for the first part, and then I went by with train to Bodh Gaya, and then I went to Goa to a friend, but not the party area, but Goa has a beautiful areas where you don't have it's very quiet. Yeah, but I think we don't that hardly exists anymore, right? Those circuses. I know, but as a kid, I did enjoy the circuses as well. You didn't see the downside of it, but yeah. Okay, let's see, guys. This is always tricky when it's close to one of these levels and just doesn't go there. It just goes lower first and then it leaves this level here. Let's see. Maharashtra. Oh, yes. Oh, Maharashtra. I don't know where that is. Let me Google that. Priya also is from India, right? Shisha, Maharashtra, India. Wow. Oh, I guess I've been there because it's Mumbai. So, yeah. Oh, I didn't know that was the area was called Maharashtra. Man, and the food is so good. I love the food. Yeah, I know Chennai. Oh, you were from Chennai. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, my mom is from Kerala. Okay, yeah, okay, Kerala. Okay, so yeah, I haven't been to Kerala. That's still on my list. Okay, let's see. So Priya, your mom is from Kerala and Pune. Okay, I don't think I've been to Pune. My mom is from nice place to be. Okay, so you yourself did not live in Kerala. You lived elsewhere. I gotcha. Okay. It's very colorful, and every province. I remember the food was so diverse. I just love the food. It was so funny because I once went to an Indian restaurant in the Netherlands, and it was I thought I didn't like Indian food, but it was so horrible, that restaurant. It was just a bad restaurant. And then I went to India and I was traveling and I started eating like, oh my God, this is so awesome. And I don't know where exactly the name of all, but it was just so amazing. But it was just a bad restaurant, and they had a lot of bad spices, and it was like really overwhelming. So I had a different idea of Indian food. Man, I fell in love with that food. Oof, every night, and it was so cheap in the restaurants as well, and you could go to a fancy restaurant, and it was just oof, so good. And I didn't get sick at all. No, I don't think I visited that. I did visit a lot, but maybe I forgot the names because it was a 6 week. I had a chauffeur for 3 weeks, so we drove a lot. So I might have been and not knowing it. There was a lot of architectural things, and I have to go over my pictures again. And maybe I didn't. I forget a lot of these names because there was I mean, it was 6 weeks. So there was a lot of destinations, a lot of different, but they were all, I think, the touristic routes, I guess I did. I was quite young though, still. Vikas, I don't think I really stayed long around Mumbai, to be honest. I think I started in Delhi. I think I just went to Mumbai to take the train. I think I just changed trains to Bodh Gaya in Mumbai. I'm not sure if or I went back. And then I changed trains to go to the south. I think it was something like that. Bodh Gaya, back to Mumbai, and then just one night in Mumbai, and then I went to the south, I believe. I don't think I spent a lot of time in Mumbai, so actually I should. Milan, I don't know. I have to really get back into my pictures. Okay, let's see now, guys. Because I do want to take a trade to the upside, but I would rather see it go back into here, or maybe even lower. We'll see. And if it gets here, then maybe we can get a trade to the downside. What time is it? 3:06. Bearish order block. I wonder if I should take a short actually here, and maybe they want to leave this for FOMC. Let me go a little bit higher time frame on this one. Just want to see the 15-minute. The reason why I'm saying that, because we also still have this one here and we have this one here. So I'm wondering if we're going to leave this for higher for later on, and we are just going lower because they left. True. Maybe some liquidity. The 4 hour. Pum pum pum. Oh, Mether, if you're looking, this is what I like to see. And then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is adapting to the 4 hour here. Nine, 3, 6. I'm gonna upgrade this wick here. Let's see if this 4 of this wick is gonna give us some intel. Oh, okay, interesting, Milan. I don't think it rings a bell. I don't think so. An A plus setup? Really? Um, for me, it's not really an A plus. Is we're in an area of consolidation, so I did go to discount, but then again, it could also easily gone to midnight here. It's low volume now because of FOMC. I would rather, for me personally, I'm going to wait for either a really proper retest of something, or and I just didn't see that here, just not enough. It just didn't fit my if then statement, so to say. So I just let it go then. Just because it moves up, it's just not. I just have to have a few things that need to align, and this was not enough for me. But maybe it wants to come down and then maybe one more leg up. That's more, then I would have more confidence in the trade. I do think we're going to go higher though. I think we're going to go into this wick here, 4 hour wick. Um, Lance, yeah, we got your message that you passed you got a payout. So we got it. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, if then statements are very important, and it depends on your if then statements. And that's how you build your model, right? You need if then, if then, if then, and the more you have, the more you get pickier on your trades, right? Company main call, I trade the 5 minute chart 0050 displaced above 035. We traced into 2350 inversion, respected the midpoint. That's where I should have pulled the trigger. Let's go over it. I like that. I like that, what you said. I trade the 5 minute. Let's go to the 5 minute. Let's go over what company main call. That's a lot of good if then statements. 0050 displaced above the 0035 swing point high. Yeah, so you're looking at this one here, right? No. You're looking at a different. Where would you have pulled the trigger? 0050. Let's go over 0050. 050 created a fair value gap here. Okay, then you said in above these 30 0035. Ah, okay, I see what you. You have pulled, you wanted to pull the trigger here. Inversion. Okay, so this already for you was enough, this inversion here. You wanted to get in straight away from here. I gotcha, I gotcha. Okay, let me say something about that, because I do understand what you're saying, but you always have to be careful when you have a gap here, because this inversion is not balanced in the sense of it is. If you want to trade inversions and you want to be sure it doesn't go lower, you don't want to see this. Now I didn't go lower here, but you always want to be aware of these, because you're on the 5 minute. If it's a true inversion, you don't want to see an imbalance. It needs to be closed, because then it's an inversion. When it's in, this is not, and technically not an inversion in this sense, because it's not. It went over it, yes, but it did not. This is not an inversion in the sense of a valid inversion if there's an imbalance here, if that makes sense. Now it did go higher, yes. And also, if you would use this as a breaker, valid enough, but it didn't get retested. So we're going to come back to this area for sure. 210 retrace into 2350 SIBI. 2350 SIBI. Sell side imbalance. You're talking about this one. Yes, but you will notice, I'm just, if you see an imbalance, just keep an eye on them. Now, this time it went higher, but you just want to be aware of these situations, because it's, for me, it wasn't good enough. Let me put it that way. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see some down price action before we go back up. So you might get another opportunity. Let's keep an eye on it. Let's see what the price does. It's going to play around anyway now, because it's FOMC. So let's see if we get another opportunity to get back in. So I don't consider this a balanced price range. In order, if I would trade it to the upside, I want this to be a fully balanced area. That means no imbalances. Everything needs to be clear for me to trade it to the upside. Unless I trade a short, if I'm willing to trade a short trade. But I also didn't like that we had midnight here still in this SIBI. So I wanted to see that retested. Also at a very important level here, 0.62. But let's see if we get another opportunity accompaniment call. We might get another opportunity for a leg up. I wouldn't be surprised. No, it's okay. I got you. I totally understand your logic, and it's good. It's good. But I have a few other if then statement, but I think it's good enough. But for me, it's like I don't like these imbalances, and also these levels were still midnight was still here. But yeah, I got you. I mean, when it goes higher, and then with this move here, that would have been my if I would have traded your if then statements, which are valid, and then I would wait for a little bit more confirmation, and then this one would be my confirmation here, and then when it starts going higher, this is your protected low then here. Also in a time that I like. I didn't like the time here either. It's the end of the macro. Then here is 22 I like then as a run, because those are the, here you have your confirmation, right? This would have been the confirmation for me. If I would have traded it, this, I would have waited it for here. And then going into the end walk, right? Once it goes in, this is also an inversion here. Another confirmation here, 229, 31. And then from up here, I would not, if I would have wanted to trade it, I would not enter anymore here. But yeah, these are still good entries here. But let's see. Let's see what it's giving us. I'm sure it will give us another entry. Because we're still in the accumulation range, right? We're not really... so we can expect a little bit back and forth price action. And then, let's see. I like it if it wants to go into this wick, which I think it might want to do. The only thing that I don't like is that ES already done it. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, so CES already hit 50% of that wick, and NQ did not. So, bit of a bummer. It did not come back to the breaker, guys. That's the point. It did not. This is not a breaker. This is a. But this is the breaker. You got your high, your low, high, lower, low. This is your breaker. It did not come back to the breaker. This is the unicorn. It did not come back to the breaker. Maybe on the 5. I don't think so on the 5 minute as well. Let me check. That's the whole point. That's why I didn't take it. Breakers are my favorite. This is the breaker, guys. Here is the breaker. The breaker is where price turns. We went from bearish to bullish. This is where we have a market structure shift. But it did not retest the breaker. That's why I did not take it. Priya. I drilled Priya on breakers. This is the breaker, 5 minute. It did not retest it. We have a sweep and a higher time frame. It needs to go into a higher time frame P-Durée. that qualifies, that makes this the breaker, and then you have a pass through which activates the breaker. With this candle, the breaker got activated, but it did not get retested. Do you see that, guys? And the retest would be exactly at midnight. That's why I did not, exactly that is the reason why I did not take it. That is the exact reason why I let it go. Because there was no breaker retest. But you know, that tells me that it will go to that point at some point, and then you get the nice trade. And then I wait for those breaker retests. But then this is a mitigation with another fair value gap. That's what I will be looking at right now. Around the midpoint of the N walk. So this is my, I don't think we're going to get here now, but this would be my interest. No, um, Lance, well, luck is just, I want to be in control. I want to have logic around every trade. I want to have my if then statements that I have been testing and which I feel comfortable with. And it doesn't mean if it's wrong or right, somebody else can have other statements and take a trade, but it's their if then statements. But luck should not be part of trading. I mean, you should not rely on luck. Let me put it that way. If you rely on luck, it's just gambling, right? Now we're still speculating in a way, but you want to have create an area where you have some higher probability. So you want to have logic. So this is my if then statement. If it doesn't retest my breaker, I don't take it. I let it go. It can go to my area. I'm okay with that. For me, it's not an A plus setup because it didn't retest my breaker. And not midnight. So there were multiple confluences, 0.62. It did go from 0.5, but you can see it's sort of like hanging around. This is a nice move, but because of this area here, it's already telling me that it might not go to that level straight away. And guys, I want a fast trade and I want to hit TP very fast. So I would rather stay out of this kind of price action, even though it made a move. It's just not good enough for me. I would rather wait for a pullback somewhere either in this mitigation or maybe even here and then take a trade. But that's my if then statements. It's personal, right? They're personal. It's still a good move. I mean, look, this is 200 points. If you took it, it's 200 points. There's nothing wrong with that. Hell yeah, we take 200 points every day, right? If you can take them, you want them. And even if you just take them up to the end walk, it's 150 points. So for me, it's a combination of things. It's a higher time frame consolidation range. It did not do my breaker. So yeah. ES is already in 50% of the wick now, so I'm just going to wait a little bit longer. I'm getting very, very picky with my trades lately, and I like it. I really, um, Enderman, I think you're looking at this break. Is this the breaker you're looking at? I still wouldn't take it because of this. I still would let it go. But that's just me. Or are you talking about another breaker? 10 o'clock. Are you talking about this one here? I gotcha. Let me mark it. This was the actual retest. The second retest is low probability as well. It it can do it, but if it would have been this, it would have been the first one, then I would have liked it a little bit better. But this is the actual retest, and you can see here how beautiful. I actually shared this one with my students. Priya, I sent this to your son, by the way. 7 a.m. Boom. This is the beautiful trade. Okay, we hit the daily open. Lunchtime. Enjoy your lunch. Hey, but if I don't see you anymore, oh, yeah, today you're still going to trade, right? Yeah. Um, wishing you happy travels, but I think I'll see you. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the 1 minute. But Lance, no luck. No, I really don't want to have luck. I really want to have as much logic behind the trade as possible to rule out, to increase the probabilities. But then it's still sort of sometimes, you don't know exactly what's going to happen, obviously, but you can increase the probability ratio, I guess. So, yeah. I also never like it when people say, "Oh, good luck with your trade," because I'm like, yeah, it's not based on, it shouldn't be based on luck. I try to not base it on luck at all. But I guess sometimes we need a bit of good luck, but I guess not fully to rely on. It's a little bit too dangerous, I think. I think I might be interested in a short. Yeah, so this is a little bit difficult now because we did not go into that wick. ES did. Does ES want to push higher? ES not. NQ not. Looks like it wants to go higher. 27, 20, 62. So I would say if I have a good trade, I would, if I would have a winning trade and it's not based on any logic or anything that I lined up in the beginning, and something that I have my if then statements around, I wouldn't, it doesn't feel like a win, even though it would. So if I would have a winning trade based on luck, it would feel like a loss to me. It doesn't feel comfortable. If I think I have framed something and it's still wrong because it's lack of knowledge, because sometimes, it's like you can have an idea, but you're still learning, right? Then that's where the journaling comes in. And then I would like to, I go as far back until I really have figured out what I missed, what I could do better, and what was actually what was used, how, things like that. How can I prevent that loss in the future, for example? So then I try to build in logic for the future. So every time, yeah, because a losing trade, I guess, is lack of knowledge, right? It's just, even though you framed it and you think it's going to go do something, there is something that you missed, why it's not working. And that's how, because we are babies, even though you have even, I think, 10 years of knowledge at some point, it's still, there's so much more to. So I would not, I would say it's always a lack of knowledge, which you want to, the knowledge you want to keep increasing by journaling, studying, and getting more if-then statements to decrease your losing trades. So by having more if-then statements, that's how I got a few of my models from 70% win rate to 80%. Not by trading it more, no, by trading it less and taking out more situations that didn't work out in my favor. Like, for example, a same situation that kept giving me more than 70% losing trades from that particular situation, I would take it out. So that means, even though sometimes it gave me a winning trade, but there were too many times if I saw that happen, that specific thing. So that made my win rate on that model a little bit higher. So less trading of that model gave me a higher win rate by staying out of more situations. So it sounds cliche, but really it comes down to trading less and being more pickier and building things around your model that to keep you out of trouble. I don't think so, Lance. They have a mind of their own, but there's an algorithm, and if you understand the algorithm, you can find your edge. Now, it's not easy because, but then again, if you have a model and you have your if-then statements, then, but there's always manual overrides, so you have to be aware of that. And those are the algorithmic signatures that you need to start recognizing. Like, is the algo running on a normal basis? Like, it's FOMC now today, so I'm just already very much aware that it's not going to be high probability for me to trade, but I'm going to wait. I mean, I'm happy to wait until after 2 o'clock, after 2:30 actually, and then trade. But yeah, because there's an algorithm and there's not buying and selling pressure, we have an edge. Otherwise, how you would never have an edge if it's really buying and selling pressure, because you'll never know how many people are buying and selling. But it's not. All those highs and lows that are formed by algorithmic, by high frequency algorithms. So they're all calculatable, and within that range there is logic in between. But sometimes there's manual override, and that's the area where you want to be careful. If you're counting on luck, my friend, it's going to be hard. You need to count on your on logic and on knowledge, and then I think the most important thing is knowing when not to trade, when to stay out of the market, which is hard, which is not easy. But that was for me my biggest win getting just being okay to stay out of the market and not getting impatient when you have to stay out. So, and when you don't see it and you just or comfortable, you just don't take a trade. You just wait. Lens, what are these on my screen? What are these? I use a lot of fibs. Yes, of course. If you want to calculate things, you have to use Fibonacci's. Yes. I have different tabs open with different um, calculations on them, but I don't show those because it's a lot of it's full, and people are it's like too much information on it. But yeah, I definitely use Fibonacci or just yeah. Um, let's do a poll. In, yeah, fibs are incorporated. Yes, he has definitely. If it's based on logic, it's in Fibonacci's and calculations. Definitely, yes, yes, yes. Things are not incorporated are supply and demand, volume profile, because all the information is in the candles, in the high, low, open, close. It's, hey, Road Futures, how are you? I'm actually getting a little bit hungry as well now because Paras was talking about food. Good, good. Have you been trading? I'm going for a short. I understand. I can see the short. The only thing I don't like is we did not go into the wick here. So even though I want to see specific things happen, I just wonder if I'm just wondering if this is an order book that's going to hold now, or do we want to go here? Now, ES did go into this one, but it could go higher, right? Oh, did you? There was a lot of noise. I don't know if the mic picked that up. That was my stomach. That would be very embarrassing. There was a lot of noise. I got my bowl of wheat bix and banana mixture here on my end and a glass of fresh. Oh, sounds nice. Well, I don't know if I ate some peppermints in the morning when I started the stream. And I think it upset my stomach a little bit because I didn't have any. I normally start my day with a coffee, with my collagen powder, and then I go for my. But it's winter now, so I don't have my yogurt with my creatine in it. I mean, it's not that cold, but I just don't like it when it's like, how much, what's the temperature? 17 degrees, so it's actually cold today for our. If I'm in a trade, you'll see it, Gabak USA. I guess I'm a little bit, a little bit hungry. Yeah. Not in a trade right now. Not even in a paper trade. I'm also not even interested in a paper trade so far. If I'm going to trade, it's going to be only a paper trade until FOMC. I'm going to trade FOMC later today. Now it's just going to be a paper trade. Practice. It seems a good short in NQ. Well, you can go ahead, take a short. Um, I have said I don't like it too. I can see the short, but I don't like it that we haven't gone into this wick. So I wonder if it's just going to accumulate here and stay within this in this range and then continue higher because technically we have a mitigation block here already. It doesn't need to go lower maybe, but I want to see it here, but technically I even want to see it go here. But we're getting the 4 o'clock. We're getting the a nice. We are getting the. Yeah, you're talking about this suspension block, right? I saw it. Three, 4, 8. Are you at the 5 minute end them in at 2:30? Yeah, from here to here, maybe we'll see. But I'm just watching this now. I'm gonna go back to the 1 minute and 30 seconds. Oh, man, these noises are weird. I didn't know my stomach could make that noise. It's like a whole conversation that my stomach is having with me. Rumble in the Jungle, yeah. I don't think it. This mic is not on. It's the other mic, so I don't think it's picked up. But I don't have this a lot. But I guess I'm never hungry. Okay. Let's see. 3:51. 4 o'clock macro. Um. 0.5865. Okay. Let me. Yeah, I'm very much interested in this area. I'm still very much interested in this area. The 2:30 candle is a suspension block. I'm turning on the 5 minutes. Let me go to the 5 minute. Yeah, I was already. I already know exactly. That's exactly the area that I'm looking at. I want to take a long from here. I'm more interested in a long from here than a short to it. Because I want to see if this holds exactly this one. Yes, exactly that one. I'm actually more interested in a very specific area. Let me show. I like this little one here. I'm actually more interested in this one here. Let me show you. This is the level I'm actually very interested in. Let me mark this. Let me make it a little bit smaller. I'm gonna add this little imbalance here. It's the area I like this. I want to see if we can get to that and how we react there. Two. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything. I'll widen it a little bit. This is my interest. If I would take a short 834, 834. What time is it now? 3:55. It's moving so slow. Let's see if it wants to break this. Do we have a 3 minute order block? Nothing. Okay, it's going lower. That's good. volume imbalance. Still holding. Uh, 347. I wonder if it's a long at the after 4 o'clock up into that wick. Look at ES on the lower time frame. I'm actually, I think this order block is holding up. And I think we're going to go into this wick before we go lower. And then MQ will start pushing up as well, maybe. I'm just not convinced about the short. No, I like that level here, but it might be just not getting it for now. I might enter a long. Let me see, 4 o'clock. I like the long. I think I'm more interested in a long than a short, I think. Let me just wait a few more minutes. It's 4 o'clock. I'm gonna paper trade this long. Shit, I should have gone sooner. Um, I should have gotten in here, then it's such a small stop. TP is gonna go all the way up here then. No, I don't want to be stopped out in the way. It's gonna stop me out first, I think. I'm just in a paper trade, guy. Um, mm, I'm not from Ireland. No, I'm from the Netherlands, but my name is Iris, Iris. But I'm living in South Africa, but I'm Dutch. But I'm not Irish. No. I'm just paper trading, guys. Guys, don't you see there's a trade on the stream? Oh, my stomach. Let me look at the 5 minutes. Good question. That's a very good question. Good question. Now, on the 5 minute, maybe not, but because of this imbalance here, I would not be convinced of the move to the downside as well. But yeah, I would be more hesitant to take it, definitely. But I still think it could go higher before going lower. Now, I'm just paper trading. Doesn't mean I take it seriously, but um, I think we could still go up, yes. And you see how it's not really moving, also not to the downside, right? I think we're not going to get a move until 10 past anyway. The 5 minute not, but the 3 minute would be more of a no than a yes. But I'm still wondering if we want to go into that wick a little bit before going lower. But good question, I like it. 6 past. Ah, 7 past. Ba-ba-bum. Yeah, it's good to keep each other on our toes, right? It's a good question. Um, but technically, I will not put I mean, I don't like to trade. I mean, this whole price action is telling me it's either not going to move in the way I want. It doesn't move fast enough, so I would not be enticed to take it. Also, if I would, but on the 3 minute, it would be a no. On the 5 minute, it would still be like, okay, you know what? This looks a little bit fishy to me. We still have a little bit of a. We left something here. Um, Technically, I would like to say I would like to wait until we get here for a long. So I'm gonna be stopped out anyway now. But let's see, 9 past. We tap into a fair value gap. Let's see. Let's go back to the 1 minute. I still don't trust this area. I still don't trust it. Not stopped out yet. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting so hungry. Okay, I'm stopped out. I still wouldn't want to trade this short, to be honest. I would rather wait until it goes lower, because you see, this is the macro already, how it moves, right? It just doesn't, it hard, well, now it starts to move. Pum, 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 pum. Okay, now let's see. 752. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if you trade like this, you just take short-term trades. I think that's the right way to go at it. Don't overstay, because you're still in an area of just high time frame consolidation. I'm looking forward to FOMC. Do you start the day with the profit target? No, I don't. No. No, 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 no. I don't. I try to have a totally open. I'd also try to be open to a non-trading day, which hardly happens, because not every day is a trading day. But for example, today's FOMC, so I'm really waiting for FOMC. That's a money maker for me, you know. Um, but I don't have anything in mind in advance, not really. I try just to trade what the market provides me. But like I said, last week or a couple of weeks ago, I got a little bit greedy because I was on a really winning streak, and then I was like, and especially those accounts that had no consistency rules, because I just, I don't know, it was a negative. I did well, but it was like I just wanted more, and I just overstayed, and then I started to give back because there was no consistency rule. So I always was of the opinion that you shouldn't limit yourself to the upside, but actually, I last week I was like, yeah, maybe I should limit myself a little bit to the upside. Like, why would I need more, right? Why did I? That's why what I like about pre-market prep is that the purpose of pre-market prep is be fast, have a one trade and be done. Preferably pre-market, maybe at the open. Then if pre-market doesn't provide at the open, done before 9:45. And yesterday we managed again 100 points, done at 9:38. And then I'm like, okay, just stay out. Just close your laptop. I didn't do it. I just didn't go back into an account. And then maybe, look again in PM for another trade. How much more do you need, right? I mean, it is enough is enough. So, but I don't have an amount in mind, but I do get, if I'm on a winning streak and doing really well, I do get, I don't want to say greedy, but I just think, oh my God, I'm doing so well. And I do get excited, which is a negative, which is not good, but I'm like, oh, I'm doing so well. You get a bit overconfident. And then because there's no limit, I just give back at some point, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I just try to trade per account, per session, maybe one trade. That's it. If it's a winning, if I get break even, if I give it a couple of goes, then I can keep going. But until if it's a larger loss, like over 30 points, then I'm like, okay, well, I can give it one more try, but then it's done with that account. But yeah, once it's a win, I just, in most of my winning trades are average 80 to 100 points minimum, then I'm done. I don't touch it anymore. I can trade another account though. And that's, but yeah, per account, it's just one account. One account, one trade. One winning trade, I stop. So that's how I try to do it now. But I don't start with the day because you don't know if the market will provide. It just gives you a pressure that is not there. So I don't think you can do that because you don't know if the market will give you that trade, right? Unless maybe you scalp, there's always 5 to 10 points, but I'm really looking for those larger trades. So and I wanted like a really faster moves, like hit a high time frame PDRA and then already the next macro starts running. Now this is not too bad either, but I'm already set just waiting for FOMC a little bit. I can tell like it just doesn't interest me as much as I should. I'm just looking at this. I'm just like, yeah. But it still gives a nice opportunity, but I just don't like that slow. One candle and then back slowly. So you guys know that this is accumulation. 20-point moves again, back and forth, and then slowly grinding down. I just try not to use my mental capital for that. So, how do you trade FOMC? So FOMC is a two-stage delivery, always. You have if you study FOMC, there is a pattern to how those news events, what they do, right? So a lot of the times what you see is like you get an accumulations phase, but they already create liquidity on both sides. On the higher time frame, you can already see that happening during the day. And then just before FOMC, I said FOMC is at 2 o'clock. Then 1 o'clock, let's say noon to, a lot of the times it already starts just being in a range, just accumulation. And then at 2 o'clock, you got a fake move. And sometimes you have got two fake moves, but you need to really study you need to really get back into your journals. So you got one fake move, and then most of the times you got a sort of a second one. And then a lot of the times the good trade is around 230 or 250 macro after that. Then you really want to start it. Now, in all fairness, last month, I can't really remember if it was last month or the month before, it didn't provide me a good opportunity. Most of the times, FOMC is just, hell yeah, it's party time. Who wants to trade, who trades FOMC? Endermin, it helps to not frame it as a daily profit goal, but as a daily max boundary. Yeah. So I'm also thinking maybe I actually don't want to think of anything in advance, but I just noticed that if I don't have a that actually consistency rule helps me because it just need to stop, right? You reached your max, so it's done. So once it so I'm sort of like wondering now, like yeah, maybe it's not such a good thing if I have too much freedom. But it also maybe it's just my frame of mind at that week. Maybe I wasn't as disciplined as I should have been. So there's always some other things that then come into play, I guess, because normally I never had that issue. Like, oh, so yeah, Lance, it's really weird, right? It's when you're, and you get to, when you're like have a few winning trades, something just you feel like, oh, I'm invincible today. It just happens. I don't know. You just get like, oh my God, look at me going. I'm doing so well. Let me do another. It's just really weird. I mean, um, I don't know. It is not. It's not arrogance, but it's just sort of like you just feel like, oh my God, why not? Push the limits a little bit more because everything is going so well, and then you always end up giving back a little bit. So, but anyway, so I'm actually now of the um, I'm getting more to the point that I'm thinking, you know what, consistency rule is actually not that bad. It's really not. And if you have a couple of accounts and maybe different prop firms, you can always, you trade another account, another. I'm a little bit against copy trading unless you're really experienced. If you make it work with one, you can add another one. But those people that are trying to promote, oh, trade with 20 accounts at once, I mean, you really need to know what you're doing. Okay, let's see. Now I'm interested. This is the level where I'm interested in. Yeah, 20 counts. It's even though it's on different accounts, it's 20 times that same amount of loss. Let's say you only want to risk $60, right? Because you're just starting. But if you do it 20 times, I mean, it's still a lot of money if you lose. You still have to add that as your it is something you have to deal with, and people just step over it. Oh, it's so easy, just make $100 on an account and then you're done and copy it 20 times. Yeah, well, for most people it doesn't work that way. They instead of then lose 20 accounts. So so I would always say just make it work with one, and then you copy trade maybe with an extra one too, and then maybe if you're really doing well, you add another one. But I wouldn't start like, oh my God, I'm inexperienced, so I'm just gonna trade 20 accounts, copy trade them, and then I'll do really well. Um, yeah. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna leave it here. I'm not really interested in trading at the moment as well because of FOMC. I don't think I'm going to do anything until FOMC. I'm going to watch price. I do have some things I need to do. Yeah, I've got a student as well. Um, how many people trade FOMC? I'm just curious. Let me do a poll. I want to see how many people are in the chat. I'm just curious. We've got 53 people. Oh, hold on, that's an interesting one. Start a poll. Do you trade FOMC actively? Yes or no? I'm just curious how many people actually wait for FOMC or just study it. Add option because there's nothing wrong with that either. Study it. Study it. Okay, guy. Yeah, I'm just curious to see how many people are actually. I'd been before that. For me, it's my favorite, to be honest, news event. Yes. I just want to see how many people actually actively trade FOMC. Okay, there's more no's than yes at the moment. Okay, oh, I like this. Now, this would be a nice area to go long, I think. I'm not going to do it, but let me see if this is a nice area to go long of. Maybe a little lower. Let's see. No. Okay. I'm just curious if the people that say no, is it because of the volatility, or just they've been told that news events are bad to trade or you should not do it? More people know than yes. Okay, interesting. I never trade shortly before. No, but I mean, okay, maybe I should rephrase. Do you trade actively? I mean, after the news driver, not at the news, not at 2 a.m. Let me Yeah, just I want to make sure that I mean FOMC, so after the news, so not the candle itself, because that would be foolish. Yeah, so my question is after the news. So let's say after 2:15, 2:30, 3 o'clock. So after 2 p.m., you let the news. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I also don't trade the. I do not. I don't trade any news candle like straight away. I always wait, but I do trade it. But not just before or at the news candle, afterwards. Yeah, you do, right? Yeah, okay. See, this should have been my trade. I shouldn't even have tried it. I already marked this, and I just wanted to. I should have waited for this level beautifully. And I think now those. I think with that wick now is in play on NQ. I think we are beautifully going back into that 4 hour wick here. So, what time is it? 4:30. Yeah, beautiful. This would have been my trade. I didn't enter, but this would have been my trade if I would have been here. Stop. Yeah, literally below here. Let me just frame it. If I would have been actively trading, get in here straight away. My stop. Give it some room. 21. 20 points. Boom. Here we go. This will be my trade. Maybe even higher. Now, actually, I do regret not taking this, because this is again one of those scenarios. I framed the area, and it exactly to the tick. And then if it goes, even though I don't paper trade it, I will be a little bit upset. I am a little bit upset that I didn't take it, even on paper. because I journal it and I'm like, yeah, you frame it, and then I try something like here, and it's just C plus or Z plus, and then I frame an A plus setup, and I don't, even though I should, that should go into my journal. Everything. So now this is one of those things. This is everything is lining up for me. It goes back into a specific range. Timing matches. And then even though I get stopped out, I wouldn't mind, because then I'm like, okay, I'm too early. And then I want to journal it. Like, okay, what happened? Blah blah blah. So these are these moments that I find very valuable. But then, yeah. 4:33. This is your beautiful AMD on a micro level. Well, anyway, I will make a retracement or even rate. It will make a retracement or even rate that 427 Judas. You mean it will go lower again? That's what you think? Actually, I like it if they leave all these things to the upside, because that would be nice for the FOMC though. Um, but yeah, I like to see it go up into that wick before going lower again. Sometime even here, we'll see. We will see. Anyway, I'm looking forward to. I don't know. We'll see. No, I wish I would have taken that on paper, to be honest. I should have taken that on paper. This is one of those scenarios that I really don't like not taking when I'm line them up, and even though it's wrong, it's fine. But those are the situations I just should take. Mm. Above the NWOG, we still have this little gap here. $437 higher, and then around 5, 6 o'clock make its way back lower again. And then at some point it will go back into this midnight. Um, it moves away from so quickly it makes it difficult to get on board. Even the slightest hesitation leads to a wider. Yes. No, don't be. Company Macau, just be okay with not trading. Just paper trade and just let it happen and wait for a better price action. That's it. All you can do. And don't just get in because you think, oh my God, I need to get in because I'm missing a move. Um, you know, if you feel like it's going too fast or it's just not your ideal environment, just watch paper trade and journal and just there's always it changes at some point anyway. And the closer it gets to FOMC, you just think about, I'm going to trade maybe after FOMC, but then wait until at least 2:30, see what, which side did it take first, and then it will get clearer. It will get clear what it did, and then it becomes much easier. And there are I think Bowser is not he's not here, but he says he even waits until Asia. Now I don't trade Asia myself, but he says FOMC, I think he even said that London is for him even easier after the day of FOMC. And yeah, it's a bus, it doesn't have to, I didn't take a trade at all. No FOMO. Yeah, we've all been through it, but at some point you are so fed up. I don't have any FOMO at all. I can see a trade go up. I do hate it when a trade moves and I line it up and I don't take it. And it doesn't have to be a winning trade, but I don't like it that. But I don't feel FOMO if it moves in a way and I just don't feel comfortable taking it. I just, okay, well, nice. I hope somebody else took it. Somebody else makes a profit. But it's such a relief if you are disconnected from monetary outcome. And then, yeah, it's just really nice not to have it. If you have FOMO, it's something it's find out why. I think FOMO has to do with being more unexperienced a little bit. And I still have it sometimes, don't get me wrong, but it's getting less and less because I get more the feeling like, okay, well, for example, if it would hit this level, it will give me a better trade. But maybe even this level will give me a better trade. And if not, it will just give me intel for later on. Right now, obviously we have FOMC, so the closer we get to New York, I'm not going to trade. But normally when we do London, and especially if you have a losing trade or you miss a trade, those levels that you miss, they will be in play in New York. So they will provide you a better option or a better trade most of the time. So if you just, okay, you saw a level, well, you have very good if-then statements. All these statements, and if you miss a trade and you get more intel because it's either not used or they used it, but maybe, you just collect the data. And most of the times what I've noticed, okay, if I miss a trade or I'm wrong, it gives me a better the better trade later on. So, and we have the luck that we are in London. So now I don't want to say now because of FOMC. New York might be a little bit the open might be a little bit tricky. But yeah. I just described FOMO. I can't remember what I said, but I sure probably did. This is, I feel FOMO in the sense of I wanted to have a paper trade on here so I can journal it. Because I framed the trade. I said, this is a level I'm interested in. And these are the trades that I like to take because my stop loss is minimal and I get a high risk reward. And I believe we're going into that wick, that 4-hour wick. So I was willing to wait for that, even though just paper trading, and I did not do it. So I guess I'm a little bit also distracted by my hungry stomach. You guys don't hear it, but it's like constantly making noise. I think I should never ever eat peppermint before on an empty stomach. I think that set up that really created that my tummy being upset. Yeah. So, but then again, I'm still gonna journal this. Even though I didn't take a trade, a paper trade, because I would only, but I'm still gonna journal this. That I took one, I tried this. It was low probability, and I mean, had a very good question. It that so that 5 minute left behind for me a signature here that it will go back up again, right? Because of the imbalance here. So that's for me, but not from here. It needed to go lower into this level, and then there's enough here to take it to up here, I think. But next time when it provides the trade, I'll be in it. And this is a nice trade. Speed has gone up, and these are the amount of trades that I like to take, around 200 points. That's what interests me. Not 50 points, not 80 points. I just want to wait for those larger frames, for those larger trades. Save my mental capital for that. Yeah, good advice, Endermin. Because your body produces bad chemicals, you can break by taking a 5 minute break and make a physical exercise. Yes. Or, you know what also tricks your brain? Journaling that trade straight away. That closes that loop. So it's that loop. The moment you have a bad trade or something, you have a loss or you missed something, right? Your brain is like, oh, I missed something. I have to make it up for that. So I have to get back in or over, but sort of like, if you don't want to walk away, because I find it really difficult to walk away. So I really went into like, oh my, what's happening? It's so frustrating. Why do I know all the rules. I know what I shouldn't do, and I keep on doing it. What's wrong with me? And I watched a lot of. It was neuroscientific. So I really started to get into that topic, and then I can't remember where I found, maybe it was ChatGPT or even Grok. I was like, okay, I want to make a video on revenge trading, over trading. I've got this information already, and then I think it was Grok or ChatGPT. He said, well, maybe you can add this. Obviously, and so the tip was to journal the trade straight away because that closes that loop to have to solve something. So just by journaling the missing trade or the wrong trade, and I started doing that and it really helps. So you are still looking at the chart, but you're journaling, and it closes. You have solved the issue, right, by closing it. Okay, that was a trade, I missed it. I journal it. What happened? Why did I miss it? And then your brain sort of like becomes it reads it as, okay, that trade is in the past now. I don't have to solve it anymore. It's journaled. It's like a closing loop. You need to close that loop of having to do it. So that's why you want to get back in, right? So, um, yeah, man, nice trade. And it's nice, you know, this is also what I like. The candles are fast, it's larger, a little bit of accumulation, but then it will go here much faster than all this bullshit with these slow. I hate this always makes me confused. And here I start making mistakes and I get impatient and I want to do so. I have to wait for my levels and then it goes nicely. Um, Oh, that's good info. Nice tips, NMNIM. You can combine it with before leaving the chart, delete your levels and markups, and when you come back to the charts, draw your. Yes, that is such a good advice, and I started doing that as well sometimes because it gives you a clean. It's like you start over, right? It's really funny how these little things help. Um, But I would like to say, if you have specific levels that are important, write them down somewhere. But I really like that, what he said. I think you're a he, right? But yeah, make it clean, start over again. It's really weird. It's very small, but it's a very good thing. Yeah. Yeah, accompaniment call, it's all about tricking your brain. It's really weird, but it's like, like the feeling that you had that you missed something. It's also like you keep on if it keeps in the back of your head, you're already one step behind, right? You just have to start over. Okay, Mr. Trade, whatever. Well, that's a new setup. You have to find another entry point, but you still have to keep in mind, okay, where can I enter again with a good risk reward? But yeah, that moment is gone. You can go to the bathroom. Remember Mr. Chaos? He went. We made a joke now. You never go peeing before a macro. It's 4:49 now. You don't pee anymore. You stay behind the laptop. Um, you know, you went. You grab a coffee or you go to the bathroom and then your setup, present itself. So, yeah. Well, let's watch this macro together. I like to watch it. I want to see if this 4 hour week or if my analysis was correct, and then I need to journal why I tried that other that trade, right? That was impatience on my end as well. So what time did we get in here? That 4:30 ish. It's a long wait from 2 o'clock all the way to 4:30, right? For your setup, 2.5 hours. But look at the trade, how beautifully fat. I look at the difference in candles here. Beautiful, big, larger candles. And look at the difference here. Now, this wasn't too bad either, but it just, I didn't have enough lining up for me to take this trade. And then look how long it took to get to that daily open. Up to here, it was nice, to 236. Then you have to sit through this. 245. 1 hour. This is 1 hour until it reached here. I refuse to do that. For how many points? 62 points, 1 hour. Now here we already have 100 points in half an hour. Let's watch the 450 macro together, and then I'm going to get some food. You can't hear the mic doesn't pick up my roaring stomach, right? I don't think it picks up. Otherwise, you guys would have laughed. You would make jokes. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at 5 o'clock. Hey, Paras, I'm not in a trade. I'm not in a. I should have taken it on paper, but I did not. I did not because I had to lose. I was wrong here, and that just. Um, let's see if it goes to my level. I'm gonna journal it though. Why are you trading London but not New York? No, Dovis, I do trade no, I trade New York very actively and actively very much at the open and um, I try to do pre-market trades and at the open specifically, and sometimes after 10 o'clock. Um, but yeah, no, I'm very aggressive at the open. Totally different. I have a totally different approach than during London. I actually don't trade London as much on my accounts as I do New York. I try to get that more that but right now as my stats are showing is that most of my winning trades are around the New York Open currently or after 10 o'clock. I used to trade New York lunch PM session as well, but I'm sort of very tired lately because I make very long days. Um, because I'm in South Africa, so if we talk in Eastern time, I actually wake up at midnight Eastern, so to speak. And then once it gets, after London, after New York, I get tired because sometimes I have I trade the London session, I stream. Then we have pre-market prep, sometimes also a few students. So at the end of the day, I'm just very tired and I just don't do, I fall asleep. I put in a trade and I post it and then I go, oh, let me, in between us watch a little bit of a series and I watch the market and then I just fall asleep sometimes. So, um, yeah, so I just, you're just human. I wish I didn't need sleep, but I get tired. But I do like New York PM session as well. Definitely a lot of opportunity there, and I used to really, really love it. And I actually want to try to get back into that. So maybe I need to find time to take a little bit of a nap, but I'm just not good at taking naps. Or I just have to really find a way to fall asleep sooner after New York PM session finishes. Because what I do is that I sometimes wake up again, and then I stay awake and I go back and I do things. I just love sleeping. I wish, well, I love mornings and evenings, so I wish I didn't have to sleep, to be honest. But yeah, sleeping, we need to sleep. I try to stay out of Asia because otherwise but yeah, I need to find a way to also maybe get back into me even I can't take a nap at the moment. Yeah, so if I take a nap, I wake up. I'm so confused in the day. I feel horrible. I feel so tired when I wake up. But I don't know. Maybe it's I take it. I don't know. Anyone ever has a good tip about napping? Is there a good nap? How do you nap? Well, during the day that you don't wake up. I'm like, oh my God, where am I? What time is it? And I feel like then I'm really I feel tired. I started trading in London after joining your channel. Okay. Oh well. Okay. Well, I'm happy to hear that you're doing continuous losses in the past. Yeah. Well, London hasn't been easy though, I must say lately, Paras. I haven't been trading London. Most of my trades are in New York though, even though I am streaming live. But yeah, let's hope we can get that we can get better numbers on London as well. I'm really trying to get smaller trades in London, and the larger moves, the the way how I like to trade New York will stay the way, but I think I need to change. My TPs were much too high for London, so it might even go there, but it takes like a few steps in between, right? So that was the issue for me with London. Even though I framed a trade, and then my TP was just too high, and then it still might go to that TP, but then it didn't go to that TP until maybe 2 levels back and forth, maybe. Actually, it's hard taking a nap. High chance might ruin your sleep schedule. Yes, exactly. And then you take a nap, and then you go to bed really late afterwards. So then again, it's like, yeah. So also for me, that is just. But I have to find a way. I mean, we have a bloody roosters here, so I wake up very early anyway. So I'm like, okay, it doesn't really matter those roosters because I hate those roosters so much. Not because they wake me up, but that sound. Ugh. I love animals, don't get me wrong, but those roosters are just so annoying. And those bloody creatures, they close their own ears because otherwise they would get deaf. Slow walk after a diet helps take a good nap. Slow walk after food intake, I guess. Okay, some people are really good with yeah, I know. I've got friends they nap all the time and they feel they are just like all over the place and they just take a nap and then they just But anyway, yeah, that's the answer to the do you trade New York session. So yes, New York AM session and the PM session will depend on if I find a way to take a nap. I guess that's the right answer. But yeah, if anyone has a good tip, I want to go back into the question, the poll. 24 votes. Do you trade? Most people don't. I hope maybe I did not state it. Maybe my questioning was incorrect, but I didn't mean the FOMC straight away at 2 p.m. But I thought actually afterwards, after 2 p.m. But anyway, I'm 21% yes, no, 71%, study at 8%. That's also very good. Okay. Oh, tomorrow we'll do in London. We will go over FOMC. If I traded it, we will go over it tomorrow in London session. I hope it will give us a nice entry. Let's see. Paras, ma'am, do you know Gio from Naples? He really helped me a lot. I have no idea who that is. Gio. You mean he's a YouTuber? Is he someone who streams? Is that someone? He helped me a lot. He's like a brother to me, but we never met. Is he a streamer? Geo. Hello from Algeria. Hello. Hello back to you from South Africa. How are you doing? Ziat. I like that name. Oh, he trades alone. Well, if he trades alone, how would I know him? But how do you know him? Is he in our community? Is he in our community, Geo? You are in threat. Okay, let's watch the 10 more minutes together and then I'm going to stop the stream. You are in threat. In threat. You are in threat. I don't know. I don't hope you are saying I am in threat, the negative threat, but I am 1K away from getting over the buffer in my PA account. Any advice? I am 1K away getting over the buffer in my PA. Is it a 50K account? So, Romdog, do you need to build, you're building a buffer right now on your eval, right? Or on your funded account. Sorry, my bad. But I'm 1K away over the buffer. Okay, okay, you've got your buffer and you're over 1K. Okay, I got you. I'm 1K away from getting over the buffer. Okay, so you got your buffer. You made 1,000 over your buffer. And is it a 50K? Is it a 50K account? Now, I am of the, if we talk about prop firms, I am, because of all those stories nowadays, I am not I don't favor building large buffers, but you need enough buffer. If you take a payout, that you have enough, that you have, you can grant yourself some drawdown, right? So okay, it doesn't really matter if you're over or if you're over yet. The story stays, I think the advice will stay the same, I think. You always need a buffer, that if you take a payout, that you have enough buffer left to go into drawdown again a little bit, right? Because if you take out more than, like for example, on a 25K account, I would always want to have a minimum of 1,000 buffer, and on a 50,000, I would not. Well, it doesn't really matter, 1,000 or 1,500, but you always want enough that if you go into drawdown, that you have some. Oh, okay. I still have to get a 1K to get over the buffer. Yeah. Well, it takes time. It takes patience. Don't think about. Because that would screw me up a lot if I would think about, oh, okay, I need to get so much, so you're trying to force it to get there. Just take it trade by trade. Just, if you have your A plus setup and you have specific setups that you use to take on those, on that account, you have to try to not being led by the amount that you need to make, because that might get you to force trades. It always comes down to patience, right? So you want to get over 1K, so by the time that you can get your payout, you will have 1K remaining. I would even, so by the time you get your payout, then you are left with 1K drawdown. Yeah. Well, it's nothing really changes, it's just, you just should keep doing what you're doing, but just don't be forced by the amount that you are 1K, that you need to get 1K. Do you have a consistency rule, by the way? That's it. Yeah, but Romdog, listen, it's my number one enemy, impatience, always. I always like, do you have a consistency rule? We actually talked about the consistency rule today. That actually is helpful because it sort of limits you, right? If you have a consistency rule, you can't make more than that specific amount. And I've come to the conclusion that it actually helps me lately than work against me. Ziad, I am live in London every day. Paras, no man, when I was in a frustrating period when no one was talking to me, he talked to me and gave a helping hand. Okay, that's nice. Yeah. you know, we have good people in the trading communities all around. There are people that really want to help. Um, well, I actually don't talk on social media. I only talk in my community here on YouTube and in our Discord. I stay away from. I don't speak on X. There's so much drama on X and so many negativity. I know I grow a little bit slower because I don't do any additional social media, but I chose to because I want to keep it small and very personal. So I would prefer that over getting social media and just needing to post just to post some stuff. I just try not to do that. But yeah, you don't have a consistency rule. Oh, that's the okay. So this is one is that's a good one because if you don't have any consistency rules, that's where the danger comes in, right? Because you are like, okay, there's no consistency rule. You are thinking now, oh, okay, I just need 1,000. Let me see if I can make 1,000 today, right? And that's where the danger comes in. So please be careful, Rom Dog. If there is no consistency rule, that's where you really have to be rule based. Make sure that you follow your A plus setups, and there's FOMC today, so price might be a little bit tricky before FOMC, but also at FOMC you need experience to trade it. To trade it afterwards, but don't. If you are interested in trading FOMC, just try not to trade FOMC before 2:30. Just really watch how price is behaving. But yeah, just be careful because this is a day that if you're on the wrong side of the coin, man, you can be taken out very very quickly because it will be very volatile after FOMC, and it will be hard to trade now as well. You can see we have low volume. It's not the moves that are going in the direction are limited. You know, we're just really moving in a very small range actually already for quite a bit. But I mean, I still think it's going to be a nice trade to the upside now. But you see how it's just stalling a little bit. But yeah, be careful with no. That's where I also tend to give back because then I have a couple of good trades and I get overconfident, and then I give back because I don't have a consistency on that account or on my own account, for example. So yeah, when there's a consistency rule, it's easy, right? You make a specific amount and then you're done because you can't go over your max amount. But with no consistency rule, you want to make that 1,000 today. Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, I mean, I totally, that's how your mind works because you're like, oh my God, I'm doing so well. So let's say you have a winning trade and it's 200, you make $250. And you're like, oh, I can do that again. I'm at five. Let's say you do it twice, you're at 500. You're like, oh my God, my 1,000 is so close now. And then I can get a payout. Yeah, right? And that's where it gets dangerous. Yeah. But yeah, maybe, uh, yeah, just don't try to let that 1,000 be your guide. Let the trade be the guide and the setups. But it's hard when there's no. I get it. I get it. Yes, a Vero, and that's once you have enough data and a plus setup and your if then statements, you know, and it's a double-edged sword if then statements because sometimes you need to let trades go. I let this trade go because it didn't my it didn't this trade here I didn't take it. It was 50%. It was not good enough time. Just a couple of things were not lining up for me, so I let it go. And so having if then statements and discipline and rules is a double edged because sometimes you miss trades, right? Even though it moves in your direction or it's still a good trade or whatever. But sometimes you just choose to not take it and that's so more than okay. But you need if then statements. You need to have you need to be rule based because rule based takes out the emotion. You know? And then you wait until it lines up again for you. This would have lined up for me here. I decided not to trade because of FOMC, but if I would have traded, this would have been a trade for me. I waited. I marked this area. It goes to my level. It respects my level. So that means I already draw out. I made a plan already, and it's working, and my risk reward was very small, right? 20 points. That's within my limits. And these are the trades that I like to take, around 150, 200 points. And also it's time-wise, it's doing its thing after being a little bit slow here. So I will journal this. I have to journal also what I did here. I will also journal your question, Enderman. It was a good question. Yeah, so those are the things that you have to. I'm very rule based at the moment. That also means that I have to let trades go, and that also helps me get more disciplined and be okay with it. I didn't feel any FOMO here, but yeah, maybe this trade was a little bit. Yeah, I need to do something now. But yeah, this was the trade I should have taken if I would have traded. Yeah, so the more data you collect and you know, your A plus setup also, guys, remember your A plus setup is never 100% guarantee, right? An A plus setup doesn't provide you 100%. It's always still a percentage. So you have to be okay that your A plus setup doesn't always work. And that's just part of the game. You just keep on journaling it, keep on, you know, working at them, improving them, take out the less favorable, you add if then statements. You keep adding them, and then at some point you can get it to 80% maybe. But then again, there's still 20% that it doesn't work, and then be okay with being stopped out. Sometimes I hear people say, yeah, it was my A plus setup, so I over leveraged. I'm like, yeah, but it never works 100%. You always have to be prepared to be stopped out, also on your A plus setup. Always. I'm feeling like crazy volatility incoming. Could be. I mean, I think we might see a little bit of speed going to the upside, but then again, so for me, it's important to journal this and the time. And okay, next time I'm going to wait. I'm okay waiting even. It's 5:15 already. Yeah, I mean, size is always relative to the person, right? But I mean, it's where I also got, you know, when I thought, oh my God, I see something like, you know, when you don't have enough data and you see a pattern that you recognize, but it's just a pattern, right? And you don't have, and then you think, oh my God, and then FOMO, and then you think, oh, now I can make my money, and then you get in too much over leverage, and that's where you know, you get beaten up, so to speak. So I try to risk the same amount over and over and over for my entry. I try, but it's not always possible. So that's why I have like a sweet spot that is around 30 points, and it doesn't matter the model. Every time I came back to that. But with those larger trades, if I try to frame a 300-point trade, I notice that I sometimes have to go a little bit larger, and I feel very uncomfortable with that still. But yeah, so I'm working on it. NQ rated London high after 5 a.m. with SMT to ES. I journal this. Yeah, those are good things to journal. Exactly those little things. I still think we're going to go into this week though. I still believe we are going into this week. I think the SMT will be invalidated. I think they will both catch up. Let's have a look at the data. 27. Yeah. So you know what? Let me show you why. It's just so. Let's say if we're just going to go back and forth in the range, right? And Q and ES could easily just stay all day in this area here. Just go back and forth before FOMC. Because this is still quite a bit of a range to play around with. So, you know, so let's say this is just the area of, let's call it the area of accumulation. We're just back and forth maybe in this whole range and then maybe a little bit peekaboo above it. But yeah, and maybe go lower here, go back up, because we got some wicks here now on both sides. Well, we already went in this one. No, we already went in this one here. So we're on our way up. See, it's already little kickaboo. A little kickaboo. So a little imbalance as well here. Man, that would have been a good trade though. ES rated London before. Yeah, but it still doesn't change my level of my draw. So I really think the draw is going to be that wick. I mean, the wick is the draw. So I think it's just going to accumulate here and then move on further up. Maybe lower, higher, lower. Like I said, it's just going to go back and forth within that range. Oh, but look, yeah. Well, this is actually a nice one here, a nice wick on ES. So, but yeah, I'm just not interested in this trading anyway. Well, let's see. Let's hope FOMC will give us a nice trade tomorrow. Hopefully, I've got some good news to go over the trade. I hope so. If not, well, I might be a little bit upset if I don't get a nice trade from FOMC. Being honest here. But then I mean after 2:30, not at 2 o'clock, guys. Not at 2 o'clock. I'm also assuming today is clean, unlike yesterday price respecting level cleanly. I'm also assuming the same if price remains in the consolidation forever. It could spike up. It's going to spike up or down, and maybe it's going to do both. So it definitely will do both. I mean, that's what FOMC is supposed to do. Give some level of takeout, attack both sides, hopefully. So that the easy thing is that when it goes to one side, we can trade it to the other side, right? That's where the fun comes in. When that is sort of, when the manipulation becomes clear, it is like the fun part is to get in and trade the real move. But sometimes it's not as clear as it should be, but we'll see. But yeah, let's wait. So, guys, pre-market preppers, I won't do a session in New York AM because I will do a session FOMC. So 2:45 Eastern. So no session today, New York, but 2:45. No, 1:45. Sorry, my bad. 1:45 we'll do a session. 37. Okay, 37 votes. Most no. 11% said study it. I hope I did not frame my question incorrectly, that people thought I directly when the news scandal comes, but I'll do it again tomorrow, but I'll frame my question a little bit better to make sure that trade it actively after 2:15, 2:30. So, oh, look at it going. Beautiful, just beautiful level here. Phew. 426. I hope it gets here before 5:30, so it means 1 hour, 200 points. That's good enough. We do it. Anyway, yeah, Paras, it happens sometimes. But hey, listen, Paras, will I see you at 2:45? I know it's late for you, right, in India? Oh, 1:45, sorry. I think it's late, India, but oh, you will be there. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'll see you then. 1:45-ish. 1:45 if earlier. Um. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it here. It wasn't too bad, London session. It wasn't too bad. Enough to journal for me. I've got some journaling to do, but I'm going to eat some stuff now and then do some other things. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Pre-market preppers, I'll see you at 1:45 today. So no New York AM session because of FOMC. And yeah, I'm looking forward to go over and also about you, what you guys are going to do in FOMC for those who traded. So, okay, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I'll see you tomorrow, and pre-market prep, see you later today. Ciao, ciao. Stay safe.